So I talked about the pathologization of sexuality, and I went pretty far into some realms of maybe maybe realms that aren't accepted by our society, and I want to start asking some questions like, is it is it bad for people to date many people at once? Yes, it's bad if you are being sexual with many of them at once and they're not involved with the others at the same time. So this is my opinion, but you can also discuss this. It's all about your own relationship, but you have to remember is if there's two people in a relationship and one person wants like polyamory or some kind of special sexuality and the other person's scared to lose this person, they're going to pretend they're into it too, and because of their insecurity. So don't let cognitive dissonance allow you to have this situation. Okay, that's an unhealthy polyamorous relationship. A healthy polyamorous relationship is you share each other, right? It's a tripod. You have three legs on a tripod, right? And it's really hard just standing on two legs. You have to use balance all day. It's way more energy, like 10 times to 20 times more energy to stand on two legs. But if you're in a trinity, which means you're connected to everyone the same, right? In a perfect trinity fashion, then you're sitting with three legs. And what that means is if you have two or three kids, then there's always the ability for one leg to lift up for a while and just chill out, right? Or to work, go off and make money to put food on the table, or even sometimes two have to do that considering how expensive life is, right? And considering how many people are alone. And I don't want to pathologize our society. However, we have a crisis of masculinity, and we have a really lack of weak men, or a lack of strong men. And because of this, there's all of these amazing women, and especially my community, because there's amazingly divine women in this community, and they haven't been even they have never been around somebody like me because there's not many people like me around. So it's even hard for me to be with a divine feminine because they have never been associated with such a strong masculine energy, and it's such a polarity to their energy, right? And so when I see this, I notice two things. Is what we've done is we have women or the female, but I'm talking it's generally in men right now. I'm seeing that there's a lack of strong men. There's and I'm not talking about strong like muscles. I'm talking about morality and ethics and just like what you do with your life, right? And there's all these men that are really strong and they work really hard, and they're like putting feet on the table, nice big trucks, nice things and stuff like that. But they like come home and then hide in their man cave and drink 6 beers. Well, that's to me that's not a healthy man, right? But that's what we've created when we pathologize men. The men that stayed men just stay away from the feminine, and they just go, I'll just hide in the place that allows me to be a man. So yeah, I believe that strong men have a tendency to want to like protect women, right? All men do, but I mean, I think that the genuine men that actually could protect women instead of just virtue signaling it, that's when you could see like that happen. And same with strong women, right? And this is exactly what I'm seeing. I'm seeing way more masculine women than I see masculine men. So that means I think we'll see a lot of trinity partners with two men and one woman, or two masculine figures with one feminine figure. And if it's a strong masculine figure, then you'll have two strong feminine figures, and those don't need to be anything to do with sex. right? And also this works with the fact that women, especially nowadays, considering the lack of strong men, are turning to their own sex for accompaniment, and that is all of that's fine, right? However, I know that there is a human instinct to these women to have children. So a strong man, that if these two women could handle a strong man, would be a perfect trinity partner for their love, because they could both have a child with a father that gets to be in their lives, and they have what they want with the strong feminine force to battle against that strong masculine force, right? So I don't believe this is an easy place to get to. This is an advancement in psychology, because if you can't even, if you're so possessive that you can't even like let a girl dance with your partner or whatever, right? Then you're so far away from this idea, so it's out of your consciousness, and that's probably why you would pathologize it. However, if you raise up to a higher consciousness and you know that for example, your wife really needs this other kind of energy that you don't have, and because you allow her to have it with this other person, and you're not jealous or possessive of her, then when she comes back, and also that person is a relationship with you too, because that's how you can trust that. That's where the Trinity works, right? So you can't have a line. Like, as soon as you make it a line, this is guy over here or girl over here. This is the middle person. This person's gonna get jealous, or this person's gonna get jealous, and the person in the middle is the only one that knows what's going on in both their psyches. So this is why Trinity has to come together. 3. Okay, so don't lie to yourself and pretend you're polyamorous, because that's just hedonistic sexual immorality. You know, polyamory would be like, it is, I believe we all are polyamorous beings. But if we're talking about sexual polyamory, that takes real work, and that takes shadow integration, that takes putting aside alcohol and these things that that numb our consciousness. And because if you want to be able to do something like the Trinity, which is actually helping society and evolution, then you have to bring yourself up to a certain level of cognitive understanding. So, you know, I'm not saying, on a personal level, I'm not saying that this is what I want. Yet, like for myself, like a Trinity partner, you know, it is a part of me does want that, because I am a busy person and I plan on doing some traveling for my work, and I believe that if we didn't have that Trinity and we have kids, then that could be trouble for the kids. So I understand why the Trinity would be really good for somebody like myself, you know. However, I don't know if that's exactly what's going to happen, because there's other community trinities, right? Like, you can have trinities without sex involved, right? You know, and that can be like, there's asexual people out there that just want to be a part of a family, right? There's people that just aren't very sexual at all, like and they haven't found the right person. They don't know and that's why they're not sexual. It's not that they're asexual, it's just that they haven't found the right person that stirs them up. And so, you know, it works for those people to be in a Trinity with somebody. And then when that other person comes along, then this Trinity can go into 4 people, right? And then that's a whole other level of consciousness again. But if you don't have the Trinity working, you have to have a solid Trinity foundation before you add another 4th leg. And it still needs to be that 4 together, all attached, for that 4th to work, right? And these are healthy ways of us to evolve our species, stay healthy sexually, and not suppress our natural tendencies. But it takes, you can't you can't make up your sexual morality for yourself if you're sharing it with other people. Much love.